The title of this lesson is Distances on a Coordinate Plane. We have one learning target today. I can find horizontal and vertical distances between points on the coordinate plane. So for our first activity, it says coordinate patterns. We are to plot the following points on the coordinate plane, and then you are going to type the coordinate in the appropriate quadrant box below. So our first point that we're going to be marking is A. Once again, always important to note that every ordered pair is written as an XY coordinate, and that X talks about a coordinate's left-right position, and the Y is the up-down position. So we always go left to right and then up and down. So for A, it's -5, -3, so that is 5 to the left, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and then -3, so that's down 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is A, and we can see that this is in, so here's quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. So quadrant 3 is point A, which is -5, -3. So it's also important to note that those are both negative. If you have two negative values, that's always going to take you to quadrant 3. All right, next one, B, 3, 2. So that's to the right 3, +3, and then up 2. So here's B. We can see that that is quadrant 1. And it's important to note that quadrant 1 values are always both positive. That's our basic coordinate plane. When it's both positive, it takes you to quadrant 1. That's like the quadrant that you've normally worked on in earlier grades. C is -7, 5. So that is to the left 7. Here's -7, and then +5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's C, and that is in quadrant 2. And anytime you're in quadrant 2, that means your X is negative. So the final one, 6, -1, to the right 6, down 1, and there's D. D is 6, -1. And so quadrant 4 will always be when you have a negative Y. So once again, always remember quadrant 1 is in the upper right, and then we do this counterclockwise motion to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of a weird shape, but you'll get used to it. All right, so now we've got to first write the coordinates for each point. So let's try and do this right now. Pause the video and do this yourself. All right, A is to the right 4, up 3. B is to the right 4, down 3. C is to the right 3, down 5 to the -5. D is to the left, so -4, and then down 3. And E is to the left 5, up 3. These are your coordinates. And now we need to answer the following questions for each pair of points. How are they same? How are they the same, and how are they different? How far away are they from the y-axis, which means to the left or right of it? And then how far away are they from the x-axis, above and below it? So A and B have the same x value. Which is 4. And I'll rewrite these just to 4, 3, and 4, -3. So they both have the same x. And then how far away are they from the y-axis? So here is the y-axis. And we can see that A is 4 units away and B is 4 units away. So both are 4 units to the right of the y-axis. And how far away are they from the x-axis? Well, A is 3 units away, 3 units up, and B is also 3 away, but 3 down. So A is 3 units above x, and B is 3 units below x. And then we can also see, so above and below, so that's because A had that positive y value and B had that negative y value. That's why it is below the x. All right, so now B and D. So once again, I'll start by writing them. So B was at 4, -3. And D was at -4, -3. So they have the same y value, which is -3. And then how far away are they from the y-axis? So B and D. So B is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units to the right of y-axis, and D is 4 units left. So once again, they're both 4 units away, but one is 4 units to the right, and one is 4 units to the left. And once again, we can see that when it's to the left, it's negative. When it's to the right, it's positive. And now for A and D. So A and D, so A is 4, 3, and D is -4, -3. So, they are opposite x and y values. A is 4 units to the right, of y, and B is 4 units left. Oh, sorry, not B, D. How about D? My bad. And then in terms of the x-axis, A is 3 units above the x, up 1, 2, 3, and D is 3 units, here's the x below, 1, 2, 3.